I don't even know how I got you.
I dropped everybody that I was talking to. Was temptation hard? Emotionally, it was hard because you miss this person so much. Like, it physically hurts.
You just can't trust that person for no reason. Channel. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and throw us a like if you like what you see what we do today, baby.
Today we are doing a long distance relationship Q&A. We're just gonna talk about, we're just gonna answer some questions that y'all want to know about how we got here, how we got from long distance to engaged, getting married in our dream house. Yeah.
Yeah, so we always, when we do Q&As, we always get a lot of questions about long distance advice, things like that. So we just decided to dedicate a whole video to long distance questions. And while we do that, I am making us a sushi cake.
She has been trying to make this cake for 2 days.
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram and I was like, I want to make that. So that's what we're doing. And right now I'm chopping up cucumbers for it.
Cucumbers are really good. I love cucumbers.
I know you do. I wanted to leave them out.
Let's jump into it. Question: how often would y'all get to see each other in person?
At the beginning of our long distance, she was in Tampa and I was in Atlanta.
Well, Miami and then Tampa.
Yeah, Miami first, but we never...
Yeah, you never came to Miami because at the time I was with my mom and I was in the closet, so it just wasn't making sense logically.
That wasn't gonna work out. If I would go to Tampa, I would only be able to stay from like Friday night to Sunday night because I had to go back to work on Monday. So we would probably do that like at least once a month.
And if I was able to go see Lindsay, I would stay for like a week because in the beginning I had just graduated college and I didn't have a job. So I could come and be there for like a week. And then when I did finally get a job, I would come and probably be there for the weekend, Monday at best. I hated my job at the time, so.
But yeah, so I would say about like once a month.
Yeah. Do you need me to help you do anything right now?
No.
Is it just all gonna stack? I'm excited. It looks good. It smells good. Just do another little taste test.
I'm upset about that. I need to.
About this?
Yeah, because it's like too chunky. It's supposed to be like shredded.
It's good. It's good. Ooh, this is a good one. Was temptation hard?
No.
No.
No way.
But I get the sentiment behind asking us about
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people struggle with being faithful when it's long distance. But in our case, or at least on my end, tunnel vision, okay? Because initially when we first started talking long distance, we were doing just that. We were just talking, we weren't exclusive. We had both agreed we weren't exclusive. We didn't know what we wanted. And almost immediately, I dropped everybody that I was talking to. So, yeah, temptation was not hard. Like, nothing was tempting me.
No, yeah, nothing was tempting me. I mean, I don't even know how I got you, so.
No, I don't know how I got you.
So, temptation was not for us. But, yeah, this is just our experience, so.
This isn't a universal experience.
Yeah.
How did the trust thing work with going out and stuff?
One of the biggest things in our relationship that we've always made sure of is that we trust each other. So the way that we started our relationship was just always trusting and like trying to be open and honest with everything. Before we made things official, before she asked me to be her girlfriend, she like opened up about things that, she wanted to make sure that she told me before we made it official. So I feel like that was like a big, just like a example of us starting our relationship very seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I remember my thought process for it was that I had been, all of my relationships before that were like so toxic and not healthy and filled with like lies and scandal, whatever you want to call it. Going into this relationship, because I felt like there was something different happening, I wanted to kind of just start off with like a clean slate of like, here's everything that you need to know that you don't need to find out from other people that would come off as shady, or all things about myself that I feel like I would want you to know now and not find out. Because I just wanted to go into a relationship not holding anything back. And, ooh, not my voice cracked. I'm like Alicia Keys. Some people. You heard her on that note. That first note was, I just wanted to go into it with a clean slate. And I think that laid a really good foundation for us to just be honest with each other. And when it came to going out, because at the time, this girl right here she was in a sorority, y'all.
I was out and about. I was on the whatever. I was gonna say on the prowl, but I wasn't on the prowl. But yeah, no, like I was going out a lot. But just the foundation that we laid was just always trusting each other. So I feel like we never got to a point where we lost that trust in each other. I feel like you can bring a lot of past like trauma and stuff into your new relationship and start off by not trusting that person. But we were lucky enough to just, completely trust each other. And then if something happened where we had to reevaluate the trust, then we would have, but nothing ever happened.
And I think like going into them talking about going out, like the trust in terms of trusting your partner long distance was also communication.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we were texting the whole time. Like if I went out in Miami with my homegirls, I wasn't texting Lindsay every second. But I would be like, we talked on the phone earlier that day and I let her know, hey, I'm going out tonight. Once I got to the club, I'm like texting her like, because at this point we were becoming best friends. So I'll be texting her like, she my best friend. So I'm like, bitch, this shit is lame as fuck. I wish I was on the phone with you right now at home, at the house. The honesty that we have with each other is so refreshing.
I feel like communication is very important, especially if you're long distance and you're going out. Like, just like when you got there or like when you're like leaving and stuff. And then, so if the other person doesn't hear from you, they're not worried. I'd be like, hey babe, my phone's about to die or something. Or like just text real quick from somebody else's phone.
Yes.
Like my phone is dead, but I'll text you when I get home or whatever.
And even then, it wasn't even about trust. In those situations when she would go out and she texted me like, hey, my phone's dying, it was more so about safety. Like I felt more reassured knowing, all right, nothing has happened to you, like you're good.
All that to say is like try to open up to trusting your partner, especially at the beginning. Like try not to bring past things into your new relationship. And because then you're just gonna set up not a great foundation if like you just can't trust that person for no reason. I mean, obviously if they do something and like they continue to or whatever, then you reevaluate. But at the beginning, you should be able to trust your partner.
I think that's a really good point. It's nice when you don't gotta wait till somebody fall asleep to figure out what's going on in their phone. You know what I mean? Like you don't gotta wait till somebody eyes shut to be like, so let me see what my gut feeling is saying in this phone with this passcode. How did you adapt to visiting each other to living with one another 24/7? Was it a big change?
Like obviously it was like a big change. Like I was like nervous a little to see like how it was gonna be when we moved in together. But thank God we honestly like didn't have issues when we moved in. Like we're both clean, like we both help out. I think a big part about moving in with somebody is the cleanliness. If you guys are on the same page as far as like activity wise or like helping each other out. Like
as long as y'all know your roles. So for us, we like our roles a certain way. Like I love cleaning, I love folding clothes, doing the dishes. Lindsay loves cooking. Like it wasn't really hard for us to like fall into those.
Yeah.
But then it's also knowing how to be like, what's the word? How to have gratitude about it.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. A lot of people feel like their partners are to take them for granted in those situations. Maybe you were clean when we were long distance. Now that we're together, you're depending on me to do all these things, and it's not fair. So I think also it's making sure that you are willing to be a partner still once you're together. Like you don't stop doing things. And then it's also remembering to be grateful for that person and not take them for granted.
As a general rule of thumb, because
Wait a second. I just realized you're doing a lot of eating. I'm hungry.
It's a mukbang.
No, it's not. I thought, is this done?
No, I have to add the salmon.
I'm so hungry, y'all. It's like a special thing, I guess, but I just realized she's been eating for a little minute.
Let me see.
That was amazing. burn me.
You have to put in like 50-50 with your partner, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that goes a lot into when you move in with each other, like helping each other and not taking each other for granted, and understanding that this is your partner, not your maid or something.
Yeah. Okay. Careful. I know. I just burnt myself.
We're so hungry.
Really
we're trying to.
good.
we're like little kids who like can't wait.
How did y'all maintain the spark between each other when y'all haven't seen each other in months?
I feel like this kind of goes back for our experience to how often we saw each other, which we tried to see each other once a month. Because for me personally, if we had to go months without seeing each other, I don't know if I could have done it.
Ooh, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Months, no, I agree. I think months, like the fact that we were able to see each other monthly definitely made it easy, because sometimes I would say we probably went 2 months once without seeing each other, and it was really hard. Like emotionally, it was hard because you miss this person so much. Like it physically hurts. To prevent that from happening, obviously that depends on where the other person lives, because you got to spend money to go see them.
Right.
But it's all about making that effort and prioritizing seeing that person. Because y'all gotta remember, I didn't even have a job. Lindsay didn't even know how am I making money to come fly out to see her. Like I was doing what I needed to do to get up here because I knew like I need to see my baby.
Right.
So I feel like also prioritizing a person, like I can't think of many reasons that you should go months without seeing somebody, even if you're long distance.
Yeah, in our experience, we didn't go. We tried to not go that long, but
like I was hustling, y'all. I was out here driving Uber. If you're young, like high school, we get it. It's hard, it's tough. But outside of high school, make some shit shake to go see your boo, man. Make some shit shake. Another part of keeping the spark alive was sexting.
If you want us to be candid, like that stuff, and like sometimes you have to talk about things. Like I feel like a lot of people just want things to like happen, and like, oh, I shouldn't have to explain myself, or I shouldn't have to like you should know how I'm feeling. You should be feeling the same thing or whatever. But if you are feeling like you're not, like you want to improve on the spark or whatever with your long distance partner, you have to just communicate that with them. And it might be weird and awkward and like whatever, but you have to communicate that and be like, hey, so like what should we do to like figure this out? And I'm sure one of your first thoughts would probably be like sexting or like on the phone or whatever, or like a little FaceTime movie date, and then it like gets exciting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like
I know what you're saying, and I agree. And I think, that helps you practice for the future, because your sex life, your sex drive is not going to be consistent if you're with somebody forever. Like it's going to change, and you're going to have to constantly be communicating about the change. Is it done?
I think it's done. Sushi cake
looks really good. How did y'all know it was worth it to take a chance on long distance?
I didn't really have to think about this that much. Just everything was working out and falling into place, and we trusted each other, and it was always exciting seeing each other, and yeah, it was so fun. Like, yeah, long distance was hard, but it was always worth it.
Oh my, it was incredibly worth it. Like the time we had together would be the highlight of my month. That's how amazing it was. Like I would be like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I can't wait until next time. That's why we were like crying every time it was time for us to like leave. And we would be counting down the seconds until we got there.
I didn't ever have to question it like that. You know?
Me neither.
Yeah.
What?
I was gonna say, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure this is true. Didn't really know, but I was like, we weren't really having many like disagreements or like big fights or anything.
We weren't.
Yeah, so it wasn't something that I had to think about, like, is this worth it? We were just going with it, you know?
But I think that just goes back to the communication and trust that we laid down early on. I think, like you were saying earlier, sometimes people get so afraid of their conversations and then they never have them. And they're constantly thinking like, what are we? You're constantly, and when you don't know what you are to somebody, you're never gonna be happy, because you don't know, you're not what you want to be. You know that. Like anytime somebody says, "What are we?" You're not what you want to be with that person. You know what I mean? And that already makes something unstable.
Yeah.
And it's like, we knew immediately, we talked about being exclusive, we talked about, I asked her to be my girlfriend. Like, this was a thing. Like, it wasn't, up in the air the whole time. So it was a lot easier to go, I'm happy to be doing this and trying with you. Did you also feel like there was nothing to really talk about but the date most times?
I mean, sometimes you just be sitting on the phone together.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, okay, well, one thing that y'all know or may not know about Victoria is that she can talk about anything forever. And like, also, like, sometimes I am just like so chill and I just will like sit back. So I feel like we're the perfect pairing in that way, because when I didn't have anything to talk about, you would just keep talking. But also, there are some times where we would just like be sitting on the phone and like scrolling together.
Yeah.
Just like we were hanging out, but on the phone.
Like a comfortable silence. And we do it here at home sometimes. Sometimes we'll literally schedule to sit in each other's space to scroll on our phones or work.
Like before we start a show, we'll be like, all right, give me like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we'll start.
Sorry, our camera died. So we are officially on the floor and it's plugged in so we can finish doing these questions.
They're all about trust.
Because we're seeing literally like dozens of questions right now asking about trusting each other. And one, I want to say that trust doesn't just get fucked up if you're long distance. Like, people don't trust each other and live in the same city. So I think, either working on what Lindsay said earlier, not bringing in other securities from past relationships, but also being with people that are reaffirming and reassuring, because y'all deserve to be in relationships where you trust people, because it is really easy and it's really nice. Story time on decision or conversations around finally moving to Atlanta together, to be together. Basically, Lindsay was a lot more settled here in Atlanta. Like, she had a job, like a career where she could like move up, and I literally didn't have a job. Like, y'all, I had graduated college a month before Lindsay and me started talking. Not only that, when I moved out to Atlanta, Lindsay's parents were kind enough to let us stay there for the first year. So I was able to get a job, and then we were also able to save up for our own apartment. And then also it was COVID, so we were accidentally really disciplined about saving money. So we saved amazing because we couldn't go anywhere. But we were also very blessed to have her parents being willing to open their home to us, to give us that, like, what do they say, like, that kickstart. Because without them doing that, I would not have been able to afford to go half with Lindsay on rent.
Yeah, those are the things that we kind of looked at when we decided, like, if you were gonna move here, if I was gonna move there. So
if you have any other questions, comment them below. We probably won't do another Q&A anytime soon. Maybe a little bit later down the line, since this is like our third one in a row, and I know y'all are sick of hearing us just talk. Y'all gotta be.
No, literally.
So
we're gonna be back to our vlogs.
Yeah, we'll be back to the regular scheduled vlogs and working out and our life. I'm happy that we finally talked more more
in depth.
Yeah, in depth about our long distance, because we know that in the queer community, especially as lesbians, a lot of y'all are dealing with long distance. Yep. And it is unfortunate, and I do not wish it on anybody. But I do want to say that, as y'all can see, it can work out. It's not a waste of time if you don't allow it to be. You have any words of wisdom?
Keep on trekking, guys.
Oh my God, get this girl out of here. Who is this guy?
But yeah, good luck to everybody who's experiencing long distance. It can be beautiful, like you said, if you let it. So
that's poetic.
We love you guys so much. We'll see you when we see you. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Period.
Bye. Oh. Bye.